as you asked in English, I will answer you in English. First of all, when it comes to Tiananmen, the European Union recalls the violent suppression by the Chinese authorities of the peaceful Tiananmen Square democracy protests of 1989 and continues to mourn the victims of the crackdown. Those detained in connection with the 1989 events or because they took part in activities to commemorate them should be entitled to due process guarantees. We urge the immediate and unconditional release of the human rights defenders detained and convicted in connection with these events or because of their peaceful work to protect and promote the rule of law and democracy. There is a long tradition, notably in Hong Kong and Macau, of commemorating the Tiananmen Square democracy protest of 1989 and their violent suppression, while the coronavirus pandemic has led to restriction on public gatherings on public health grounds. Those who wish should nevertheless still be able to mark the anniversary appropriately. The free commemoration of Tiananmen events this year and in years to come would be a concrete sign that Chinese citizens enjoy human rights and fundamental freedoms, in particular freedoms of speech, assembly, association, and procession, and enshrined in the Chinese constitution, in China's constitution and international law. When it comes to the Uyghur situation, as you know, the European Union has spoken clearly and repeatedly on the situation on the Uyghurs, expressing grave concerns about the political re-education camps, surveillance and restrictions, and freedom of religion and belief. We speak out not only in public statements, but also in international fora, notably in the UN Human Rights Council, but also in meetings at all levels with the Chinese authorities, including in the 3 meetings between the EU and the Chinese leaders. Let me remind you also that on the 22nd of March 2021, the EU imposed sanctions on 1 entity and 4 individuals for inter alia systemic use of forced labor, arbitrary detention, systematic violations of freedom of religion, etc. And the listing were made under the EU Global Human Rights Sanction Regime and signals the EU's commitment to promoting and protecting human rights in China and worldwide. Well, when it comes to your questions to the national court, well, you know very well our position on that. National courts retain primarily responsibility for establishing whether international crimes, including genocide, have been committed. International courts and tribunals, based on the principle of complementarity, may have jurisdiction, and the EU will continue to support the work of international court and tribunals and will take firm stance in multilateral fora, as I explained to you earlier. I think you know very well that we do not comment on discussions in the Council. You know very well the position of the HRVP. I think he has made it very clear. But the discussions on the Council, I cannot comment at this stage because they are confidential.